on the highway through hell. The last line of defense is a heavy rescue team ready to tackle any disaster. Because closure is not an option.
Up on BC's Coquihalla, the season still has one more battle, and it's up to Al Quiring from Quiring Towing to finish it off.
They got a spin out up on the hill.
Traffic will start to bottleneck in minutes if Al doesn't hook up to the stuck driver.
Have a safe drive. Thanks for surviving the Coquihalla.
There's another stranded driver. The call goes to Al's right-hand man, Gord Boyd.
There are a lot of things you can do with a hammer. It's hammer time! This is a redneck kind of job!
The next day, in the town of Mission, Miss Jane from Western Star Motor Truck heads out for a stuck excavator in the ravine. I'm going to double up my winch lines to increase the pulling capacity. If Miss Jane doesn't double up her winch lines, that would be suicide. The excavator has only one track on it, but the mud is holding the excavator, pushing Miss Jane's truck. Back to Edmonton. $1,300 to the northeast.
I'm taking Jamie's baby back to BC for a major overhaul.
But Kelly has one last job to do with the rotator outside of Lac La Biche.
It's on a new area, it's not even on the map. That's the problem with Alberta. They build things so fast, they can't get it on the map.
The garbage truck is stuck deep in the ditch, and there's another flaw to this recovery.
The garbage truck was right beside gas lines, utility lines, and water lines on both sides of the vehicle. You cannot mess around with utility lines, water lines, what have you. If you do, you're going to get a big lawsuit.
Swampers on today's wreck is Gord and Dan.
Go home for crap's sake! It's time for the tater to come home and get refurbished. Jamie's gotta throw some love into her. It's kinda like my battleship has gone off to war and it's fought a battle for 2 years and it's coming back home again. You know, it's kinda nice to have my old girl coming home. It really is. The old battleship home. She built you another province. The rotator is my truck. I have a real soft spot for the rotator. I spent a lot of time and hours designing it. What's the other side look like? I heard there's a big scratch. Ah, it's not bad. Put some paint on it. Nope, it goes white. You know, it's taken about 2.5 years running that truck out there and growing up, and now we're back again. You know what I mean? We're back to square one. This is the right place for this thing. So we'll get her cleaned up and stuff. This was made for the mountains, right?
The rotator, known as HR 150, was designed by Jamie Davis. It's a Century 1075S, manufactured by Miller Industries. It became the most famous recovery vehicle in the Jamie Davis motor truck fleet. The rotator is a 75-ton wrecker with a 3-stage boom that rotates 360 degrees on a pedestal, making it a mobile crane that is ideal for mountain recoveries. It has a massive light tower and is also licensed as an emergency vehicle. When the rotator was called to Alberta for a bucket truck recovery that was too difficult for lighter wreckers, it stayed there and proved its value in many more recoveries. Returning to BC for an overhaul, the rotator went out to work again with Jamie at the controls. He calls the rotator his flagship.
You're gonna have to give me a couple minutes. I'm playing with my tater.
Less than a day, the rotator has a job to head to. After a year off the rotator and behind a desk, Jamie is a little rusty.
The trailer cost over $175,000. Something expensive like that. You have to take caution.
The plan is for Jamie and his rotator to pull the tractor while HR 117 pulls the rear of the trailer.
I don't like this.
Over time, the chain and straps get wear and tear and need to be replaced, so they re-rig.
I got called in to lift the trailer while I lift the tractor, and we were going to shift it onto the road.
At least that's the plan.
I'm not paying attention to the front wheels of the rotator lifting off the ground.
Jamie and Colin will re-rig and lift the entire unit at once.
One piece at a time, eh?
Building on last season's bold move into Alberta,
More work for Jamie. We have a jackknife semi in the ditch.
Jamie pushed into new territory and a whole new highway.
Yeah, she's pretty slick out there.
But managing his growing business and building a new fleet kept Jamie chained to his office.
Nobody told you, Jamie, that there's a rollover on 186th Street?
After losing some of his most trusted crew, Jamie had to rely on a team of unproven newcomers.
You will learn stuff from me.
In BC
You be careful. Hold it!
and Alberta, last year's rookie
What could go wrong?
got a big promotion and needed to step up fast.
Looks like a war zone.
The pressure was too much for some,
I'm done with this.
but with help from his brothers, Jamie's new team
Take that, Jamie.
came together.
Stay right there. One piece at a time, eh?
Proving that together, closure is never an option.
Face it, Jamie. Face it. Couldn't have done it better myself, Colin. Yeah, man. Did you see that? That was beautiful.
Now, Jamie has to decide if his success is worth the price.
One thing is, what really is success?
It's a question Jamie must answer before winter returns to the mountains.
I don't know what the next year will bring for me or the company. I do know one thing, we're going to have some change. And it's coming.